Everybody, Cambing here again. I started laddering yet again in Starcraft 2, so I just wanted to share one of the funner games that I had. So this is just an unranked ladder game on the North American ladder, like at the diamond level. So this is pretty good as far as ridiculousness goes. So my opponent is the Red Terran Magnum in the top right, and I'm in the bottom left, but we're going to ignore me for a second. We're just going to watch what our Terran buddy does here. And so, because of how the ladder works now, MMR decays over time if you're inactive. So what's happened is that the MMR rankings of most people have kind of gone down as a result. I did not know he did that. Wow, that probably is what happened, or why he did what's coming up next. But in any event, so MMR decays if you're inactive for about a week or two, and from what people have empirically tested, your MMR can decay up to a full rank if you go inactive for about 3 weeks or so. The thing is that with the ladder now, you can't actually be demoted mid-season. So what's happening is a lot of people are, for example, like me, getting up into, say, Masters, and then they don't play because they're kind of too wussy to actually ladder once they hit the rank that they want. And then they end up decaying back down, you know, like a league or so. And so all these games that I play kind of like the Diamond Master level, especially my unranked account, which is kind of like Diamondish right now, they're really awkward because it's a bunch of people that either don't know what's going on, or they knew what's going on and they're trying to cheat so they can quickly get back up to their normal rank. I think this is one of those cases where we both don't know what we're doing because we're both bad. So, you know, is what it is. But the rank, suffice to say, the ladder's a lot more volatile than it was, you know, back in pre-Heart of the Swarm. Another thing too is Blizzard allegedly made it so that the MMR thresholds when you play against players is a lot bigger, so you get a lot more variation. So you have deflation that causes good players to have lower rank. You got you know, a wider kind of range of people that you play against, and as a result, the games are pretty volatile. So he ends up trying to bunker rush me, which is kind of funny. I think I don't see this. Let me just double check real quick. Jumping in my vision. Yeah, I don't see it. Again, I want to ignore what I'm doing. So he's going to be bunker rushing me. A 1 Reaper bunker rush is actually not that scary, especially since he got down to this bunker so late. I'll have enough time to just put a spine up. If I throw some drones at it to make sure the spine doesn't die, whatever. It's not a big deal. The Reaper alone doesn't have enough DPS to be able to kill the spine in time.
Upgrade complete.
So, I actually haven't seen his point of view yet. This is why I'm really curious. So he's going to do his earnest to try to kill this spine crawler. I also have a queen building in the background. You know, look at the production tab. So actually that kind of spoiled it. Ignore that for a second. So I got some lings out. They're gonna screen the Reaper. They're actually gonna do a lot more damage than they should. The Reaper can just stay in the bunker the whole time. There's no reason for it to be out. And so he's just gonna sit here. Plinky gets a ling. Spine's up. It's about half health. And this is where you should notice that something's wrong, but I don't think he knows yet. No, he does. He drops a factory at this point. But you look in the mini map here, you can see that a hatch has gone down in his natural. And so it's totally not the right response at all. But I figured, you know, it's unranked. Why not try it out? So he's got a proxy hatch in his natural right now. His response, we look at the production tab, he's going to be dropping another CC, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if he's actually seen it yet. He grabs a second gas, so maybe he does now. But the only real thing he can do is just quickly twect the tanks to try to break out of it. And if he had gone factory reactor Hellion, he'd be in a big bit of trouble because he wouldn't be able to get the tank out in time to be able to break my contain. So I'm sending the lings over to kind of protect. He's doing the right thing, kind of bunkering up. He doesn't know how hard I'm going to be committing to this. It turns out I'm not at all. I'm droning behind this. I've sent 2 drones, or 3 drones. 1 died from a Reaper to build spine crawlers. The Overlord's going to spot. I mean, what do you do if you're Terran in this position? Obviously, you shouldn't let yourself get caught, if at all possible. But when you do get caught, you do want to use a tank to try to break out. You want to keep powering your economy behind it, if you're not intending to just do a 1 base all-in. And you want to do something to try to punish it, because there's a lot of resources at the front, as annoying as this is going to be. So when you get down, the 2 spine crawlers are going to poke at the front here. Which is great. And he's kind of building a tertiary wall here, I guess. Because he doesn't know if I'm going to flood with lings all of a sudden. But he got the starport up. Yep, and so that one tank's going to save him. There's nothing that I can really do. I could have maybe pushed up that spine to try to get to the tank, but I probably would have lost the spine to the Marines in the bunker then. But yeah, so his response is he's going to get a tech lab to get a Banshee, which is pretty good. I obviously am not going to be teching fast behind this. So Banshee's a very reasonable thing to do. I mean, the reason I do this is not to try to break him, but to get creep tumors all over his natural, so they won't be able to plant down his second. So that's going to be working out pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, he's just trying to wall off desperately. He's not sure what's going to be happening. I'm going to ready evacuate, and we'll see what I do with this queen later. His overlord's ready to go into scout. At some point, I do need to scout his tech to see what's going on, and I'm going to spout this this starport. Ah. Then at this point, I would actually just pull the SCV down just enough to be able to get spotting on there, and just kind of dance him back and forth. I wouldn't waste a scan, because I'm going to need a scan. He's going to need a scan to break all these creep tumors that are around. Yeah, that's a good queen right there. She's smart. So, I finally go in with the Overlord Scout. I see Cloak Banshee, and I see Tank. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe Mech. With those many Marines, it's probably Marines. The second Brax there now that I see, now it's probably going to be kind of Marines after this Banshee follow-up. So, unfortunately, my my natural was late, or my third was late, and I wasn't a good boy in journeying behind this. Kind of just sort of threw my hands up to the keyboard and was laughing at this point. He's going to go ahead and break this down. Unfortunately, there's creep tumors all along the edge, and this is what you want to do if you do this kind of campaign. There's creep tumors all along the edge to force as many scans as possible. Also, my lair's going to be finishing up here just in time for the Banshee to come in. So the queens are coming out to greet it. So he's got a very small 3 tank, 7 marine force here. Is that 7? No, 8. Unfortunately, this Banshees are going to do a lot more damage than I care to admit. But that's alright. This game was just for fun. So it's going to sit there and blink. The queens are eventually going to get their overseer. Everything's going to be okay in the world, hopefully. But he's going to do a nice little push out here. I hopefully don't have a lot. If I do have a lot, then he's dead, but that means he's just been dead in the water to begin with. If I don't have a lot, then this is going to do the necessary damage to try to get himself back in the game. This is why I moved the queen, so more creep shenanigans can happen. And so this push at the front, jumping back to his vision, let's see what he's doing. Here I actually don't have that many units. I was criminally under-droned here. And the queens are going to come over to tank a little bit. I'm going to get the lings in the back. Just as long as I clean up the Marines, I'll be okay. We can't possibly have all the resources to try to do a reasonable follow-up with this. You can see, did a really horrible job here. That Banshee's going to get so many kills, and you kind of see my workers, like, the worker lead I should have had is quickly getting diminished. Oh, that's embarrassing. But that's okay. I pushed away his aggression. The Banshee's eventually going to die. He's still... This is, again, why you spread out along the edges. He's cleared out the creep tumors here, but he doesn't know those exist. Jumping over to his vision. Yeah, you can't see those exist. So it's just kind of weird. You don't really know if the creep's ever going to recede until you realize it's not going to recede at all. It just doesn't go away. Then you go, oh, there must have been more tumors there. Yeah, and this is a hero Banshee that kept him in the game with 25 drone kills. That's unfortunate. But he's transitioning into standard Marine tank play. This is post-patch. They've already nerfed the Widow Mine, so it does less damage to units in the splash versus those that actually get caught or targeted with the blast. So my mute is going to come over here and do some harass, but he's already got the one turret up in his base that he needs. I should have just probably went for a contain and just went pure Ling Baneling instead of just going into autopilot with my normal Terran TVZ composition. So there's only one logical place he can park his natural, and that's over at his would-be 4th. In the meantime, checking the production tab. I got a few looselings running around. I need to get 2-2. I believe. Do I need to get 2-2? Yes, I do need to get 2-2. So I'm going to try to push this away a little bit. All things considered, it's a lot closer because that Banshee killed literally half of my drones. I'm only now getting kind of the drone lead I should have had about 3 minutes ago. And my supply is just ahead of him. What I do have ahead of him is tech and production. I don't know how the TVZ metagame is going to turn out in the next couple of months. It'll be really interesting to see with the new season of WCS coming out next year. Give pros a lot of time to think about it, but Lingbane Muta has always been really, really good against tank-based play, and it was kind of Marine Mine that made it kind of sketchy to kind of go down this route. But as people, then this is bad control. Did a lot less damage than it should have. Thank God. He still can't plant it. He still hasn't got the back mines yet, or the back turrets yet. Not turrets. My gosh, tumors yet. But in any event, what I was saying was, with kind of the metagame shift, with tanks being slightly better, I think people did the math, and tanks now have an extra chance of doing a volley against a Baneling pack, which is exactly the kind of benefit that you want to get from their attack period buff. Because he's finally going to get these tumors down. I try to get more along the edge here, but it's not going to work. He's going to get a missile turret down too. But with the tanks getting that buff, I think we're going to see some more kind of integrated tank marine play. But I've been seeing on the ladder so far, it's kind of the complete opposite. People actually just going marine tank again, which against the standard TBZ composition is not good, or at least not as good as Marine Mine is, even with the nerf, I would say. I think you're going to see some combination of it, but what that is, I'm just not sure yet. And so I did break down the rock, so he's actually going to have a nice stranglehold here. So I'm going to have to do a double prong attack to break this. Going to use the mutas to keep him occupied. Let's go ahead and watch from his point of view what's going on. So he's trying to drop, trying to keep me distracted, which is really good. He's got to do whatever he can to kind of get back in this game. This is good. He's kind of pulled the Marines back with the tanks, and we're watching for his point of view right now. Fortunately for him, I'm setting up a two-prong assault, and the Banelings happen to be on the right side with the Marines, so they completely clean things up, and I get another win there.
Depleted.
Somebody, get me
You can see he has multiple medevac drops coming in, or by medevac I mean a tank drop. This one's going to be a little bit annoying. I have to pull everything back for that. This tank's going to be really, really embarrassed.
This better be good.
And he's going to head back home.
It's go time.
But yeah, the creep's still pushing out. I pretty much creeped his end of the map. I never actually get to connect the creep here, but it would have been a nice exercise to try. And I pretty much hit the critical mass of mutas that I want. Well, not quite yet, but almost there. Want a nice 22 to 24 mutas, and then I have a vicious muta pack that can kind of take down small packs of Marines without incurring losses.
The hive cluster is under attack.
So, going back to his vision. There you go. So he's kind of bunkering up here again.
Depleted.
At this point, there's not much he can do. He's really behind. His third needed to be down ages ago. It's just a matter of me not throwing away my lead. And unfortunately, the thing about Lingbane Mute is that it's really easy to throw away a lead if you engage up the wrong ramps. And unfortunately, Yansu is one of those maps where you get these nice fatty ramps to be able to create nice choke points for large packs of Lings and Banes to come in. So I do need to wait for him to kind of spread himself a little thinner. He needs to take the natural, so he's not concentrating all his forces up here to defend this little choke point. So, hopping back to his vision, he's kind of marching around here. He's got a decent army for being on essentially a base. And he's gonna gamble by spending it on drops.
Upgrade.
Honestly,
complete.
there's not much he could do here. There's so much creep here. I'm gonna see at least one drop go by. This other one's gonna get spotted by these creep tumors, so I'm going to be able to take them out either way. Muta's going to take the left-hand one. Lings are going to deal with the right-hand one. If I was actually Gosu and I knew how to not just kind of 1A my control groups, I would split up Mutas and Lings so that the medevacs would surely die. Here, that one gets cleaned up pretty easily. This one finds my would-be 5th. Starts dealing some damage to it. Lings are going to come by and clean that up. So these Mutas are going to come in. Let's come back to his vision. Whoops. There you go.
Base is
They're going to go there and they're going to start stabbing at that 4th.
Upgrade complete.
Impale themselves on some missile turrets for no good reason at all. But yeah, but now he's at 2 bases again. Upgrades for me are pretty bad. I should have 2-2 right now. He is understandably at least got his upgrade that he should have. So as far as positions go, as good as it's going to get for him. He's going to start trying to clean out the creep tuners, of which there are a ton, preventing him from ever taking that 5th in a reasonable time frame. If I had dropped one more set of tumors, I would have had him connected. Oh well. Also gives me a great vision of what his army looks like, and also what's going on there. So I'm going to do is going to watch this vision one more time. At this point, I'm just waiting for him to overextend a little so I can actually break him without risking too much. So, yeah, I do have ultras on the field. I do want to see his vision, though, and see what he sees when essentially the final battle goes down. So the mutas are going in the main. Try to get some work done. Luckily, there aren't a lot of turrets there. I'm going to get this done. My goal is to put as many Marines as possible into the back. He's actually 1Aing everything, which is exactly what I want.
Additional supply depots.
He's going to see extra mutas coming by. Unfortunately, they're going to 1A into his natural, or I guess his 4th would be. His would be 4th now natural. I'm going to have to kind of do some micro to get them apart. Oh, what happened there? Let's jump back a second and look.
Base is under.
Yeah, so there's actually a little bit of a Baneling run by that happened as I was distracting him. That actually did some pretty good damage. I'm proud of that. So, not much to say there. Kind of pulled the poor guy apart left and right. He's done a really good job of staying in the game and making a fight worthwhile, but the other thing is you can't be in all these places at once, and that little Ultralos pack that I had managed to clean up everything. And, I mean, not much else he can do. Speeding up the game just to get through it. He's going to do some nice tank drop micro for the fun of it, but really, supply is almost double at this point, so I'm just going to go in for the kill eventually here. Do his best microing. Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, that one was dedicated to you, Mig, for teaching me the ways of the proxy hatch there. It's funny, when I play unranked, I tend not to do all this kind of crazy stuff when I actually play for real, but it's a lot of fun when you're just playing unranked and not caring. You just decide to throw a proxy hatch, see where it goes. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a few quick announcements. One, Rumble in the Bronze is happening if you go to rumblecharity. Let's go check and make sure. rumblecharity.org. You can check out what's going to be happening there. It's going to be on December 7th to benefit Child's Play. I'm also running a small charity marathon this weekend to support the victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Feel free to go through my VOD archive and find the video for that. But the stream will just be, I'll be streaming on Twitch on Sunday, just some pre-recorded content and opening up a donation box for people to donate to the Philippine Red Cross. So that's all. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be trying to do more videos in the future now that my life is finally getting back into order. So I'll see you guys later.